Welcome, everyone. And we're so glad each and every one of you are here, and we're really glad to have Xicha's in the house.
Yes, Xicha's in the house. Well, you know, summer is coming to an end very soon, and it has been a hot one, hasn't it? It's been super
really
hot.
Summer. It's been really consistently warm with just very, very little rain.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of flowers in my yard.
And how are they doing?
A lot of flowers in my yard. And actually, some of them are doing terrible. Like, they're blooming in strange places, like below the bush, and they're drying out really fast, and the yard's turning yellow. It's been really hard to keep green since that sprinkler decided
I know. I mean, I was trying to figure out why the sprinklers had no pressure. Yeah. And so all of a sudden I turn to the side and I see like this water well coming out on one side of our yard. I'm like a
natural spring.
It looked like that. It looked like a natural spring. So of course we turned it all off and I had to dig it all up and then we found the broken pipes. Mm-hmm. All the pipes were broken.
Yeah. Yeah, actually we recently had a cherry tree taken out of the yard, and when they brought the chipper in, they went right through the sprinkler line.
Yep.
So when you dug it up, you didn't find any treasure?
I found no treasure.
No treasure.
I just found broken pipes. It was awful.
Demolished pipes.
It was awful. So anyway, no treasure. No treasure.
Yeah.
But
what did you find?
Broken pipes. I found broken pipes. However, I know that you found some people who
have actually. Did you find it yet? Or fix it yet?
No, I haven't fixed it.
No, actually, we were looking up some things that people have found in their backyard.
They actually did find
really cool treasure, odd things, and stuff like that. In 2011, one man from California came across a huge gold nugget.
Do we have a picture of that
Have
gold
a picture
nugget?
Of that up?
Look at that. That was in somebody's backyard.
He was digging up his backyard, and that gold nugget, which is 8.2 pounds.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
And he sold it at an auction for $460,000 back in 2011. So, and experts say it's highly likely there is more gold in his backyard.
Let's start digging.
Yeah. I would be like taking the house down, digging up, a lot of stuff.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You could build a new house with all that.
Here's another impressive find in somebody's backyard. I'm telling you, if I found this, I would go nuts. But two kids were actually digging in their backyard, and they found this Ferrari. They found a Ferrari in their backyard under the ground. Now, this was in 1978, and the coolest part of the story, though, is that they dug it out, they reconditioned it, and they put the license plate called Dug Up. I mean, it's Dug Up now. So that's a pretty good find in your backyard.
Yeah, it is. How did a Ferrari get buried in a yard? That's
so what it was a scam, right? So there was an insurance scam.
Oh, they actually know.
There was an insurance scam. I think they wanted the money because they said it got stolen, but it wasn't really stolen, so they had to hide it. They buried it. It's a scam. Anyway, you got one more?
Nice. We got one more for you.
Okay.
All right. A big find in a backyard from Mary Graham. She was 84 when she was devastated because she lost her wedding ring. So she had been gardening and doing some stuff out in her backyard, and she lost her wedding ring. So for a lot of people, that's a huge thing. That's a really huge thing. And then later on, her daughter-in-law, 10 years later, was in the backyard. She pulls a carrot, that is a carrot, out of the ground, and her grandmother's ring is on that carrot.
The carrot grew through the ring. 10 years later. And could you imagine picking carrots and all of a sudden you find your diamond ring? That is absolutely unbelievable. It makes me want to go dig up our yard right now.
Let's
go dig up our yard. That'd be amazing. Anyway.
Yeah, well, let's move on. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome
Kay Dizzle.
How are you doing, Kaylani?
I'm doing really good.
Doing really good. You ever found a carrot like that?
I am allergic to carrots, so.
Yeah, but you would take it if it had a diamond ring on it.
I sure would, definitely.
You would take it if it had a diamond ring on it.
I would sacrifice hives.
Yep. How was your summer?
Oh, summer is good. Very hot.
Tell me what your favorite thing about summer was, because summer's almost over. So what's your favorite moment in summer?
So far.
I would probably say the fact that I've moved back in with my parents.
Aww.
Because they have a pool in the backyard, though. Yeah. In this nice weather, it's really nice to be able to go sit in a pool.
Yeah, sit in the pool on the
and
deck.
hang out with mom and dad, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Yes.
I would say that my favorite part of the summer is you moving back in also. Anyway, folks, we have a spicy show for you today. We've got the owners of Xicha Brewing, where you'll find incredible Latin dishes, festive patio seating, and fun vibes. So she'll be teaching us even a little bit of cumbia. Like, we're going to actually dance a little bit later. So I'm excited about that.
And later in this show, we'll start a brand new discussion called Stay in Your Lane. So don't go away. We'll be right back after this break.
Yes, we will.
At Advantage Heating and Air, we believe in our craftsmanship. Did you know the same piece of equipment installed by two different contractors can perform up to 50% differently? And the number one source for failure of an HVAC within the first 5 years is due to improper installation. That's why we train 3 times a week. That's why we're the best trained craftsmen in the area. And that's why we're extending our warranty. The average system is replaced every 15 years, and the typical labor warranty is 2 to 3. So, we're giving you 20 years. Why? Because we're obsessed with giving you the quality, reliability, and peace of mind you deserve.
Today we're going to spice things up with some cumbia dancing. Now I don't know what cumbia dancing is. I maybe I've seen it before, but I don't know what it is. And here to teach us how to dance the cumbia is the owners of Xicha's Brewing in West Salem, Maggie and Ricardo.
How's it going, everybody?
How is the cumbia compared to like a salsa, or because the salsa's pretty like well known?
Similar, but it's a little slower.
It's slower, yeah.
And it's more based out of like Colombia, so a more Latin American version of it. But yeah, a little more slower, a little more sensual. You know, definitely a romantic dance.
How many dancers do you guys know?
Oh.
Quite a few.
Yeah,
you know
there's
how
a few.
to do a
There's
lot
a
of
few.
I grew up dancing with my family,
Okay.
just randomly, not anything professional. But
Okay.
and then we just kind of hit it off dancing, having fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so we travel to Cancun quite a bit. We travel down south a little bit, and dancing seems to be very, like the families get together, the people get together, everybody's always dancing and just having a great time. Is that pretty much how life is?
That's the culture. I mean, ideally, you drink, you eat, and you dance.
And
then you fall asleep.
We always enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, definitely part of the culture, having fun, loud music, parties.
Yeah.
Food and drinks.
For sure.
Always
For
us.
sure.
And the families are very close.
Yes.
Very close. Yeah, that's awesome. Because we're pretty close to our family. We try to keep them all really close to us. Our other daughter just moved back in.
It's so important.
But we love family time.
Family time, yes. I was going to say it's very important to have that gathering around, around music, around liveliness, around just everything that makes you happy.
Yeah,
so do your parents teach you how to do the dances from a really young age?
No.
They just kind of let you go. It's like swimming. Just throw you in the pool.
Just kind of watch throw you in the pool.
And just see if you make it or not.
Sink or swim.
Sink or swim. Yeah.
For sure.
No, just lots of videos. Obviously, watching the aunts and the uncles.
You watch videos?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I didn't
music videos. Of course you do. Growing up, you watch music videos. So yeah, we just have a lot of fun with music. Obviously, at my house, we always have music. So watching music videos, watching the aunts, the uncles, and just everybody dance.
We bring that flavor to Xicha too.
Yes.
You walk in and you just hear music, you see colors, you smell food, and that's just kind of the vibe
I know
we
the
want.
girls came home one night. And they said they had been at Xicha's, and you guys were teaching a little bit of dancing right there at Chicha's that night.
Yeah.
That's pretty
actually
fun.
cumbia
Out on the patio,
It's
we
cumbia night,
we have cumbia nights. We have had
Bachata
bachata
night.
nights. We're having some salsa nights coming up, so
Yeah.
it'll be really fun.
Well, do you think you guys could teach us a little bit of how that goes?
Yeah, we got one. Just a slow one, but
Kaylani does not work for Xicha's anymore, but she did work there for a while. But you know what? Xicha's is still part of the family.
Yes,
She is.
We
She is.
love Xicha's. We love the environment there. We just love the feel of it when you come into Xicha's. It's just very welcoming and inviting. So
Thank
if you haven't been to Xicha's, you need to check it out.
Come on out, yes.
Yes, and you guys are getting ready to open a brand new one in Eugene.
We are.
We'll get to that soon, though. Let's hit it.
Woo-hoo. Yeah.
Do this. All right. Well, oh, we got it. Here we go. Got your
Everybody got a
partner?
partner?
You start
Left
with
hand.
the left hand,
Your right hand.
and then your right foot. My right foot
Yes.
goes forward.
Back.
And then, yes. And then back, and then forward.
That's just a simple version.
That's like the basic step, right?
And then you can
So you get some hips into it.
Algo que me mueve un ritmo
Yes.
que me hace bailar. Todos sus parejas, todos
And then back
vamos a
and
gozar.
forward.
So here we go.
Baila esta cumbia.
You got it. Yeah. Just kind of keep going like that.
and then
Stop.
spin.
Las manos en alto.
Wait, Kimani's got to catch up for 2 seconds. Yes. Okay. We think left and right. You're gonna do opposite of her. Yeah, there you go.
Baila esta cumbia un
Yes.
ritmo.
So what we're gonna do right now is we're just gonna give you that turn.
Se quede sentado, todos vamos a bailar.
That's excessive. Let's go 2 steps back. That's very advanced. So we're gonna go back to our simple steps. Back and forward
Que me
and
mueve un ritmo
back. Yep.
que me hace
And
bailar.
then with this right hand, make sure you
Todos
push
sus
out.
Pull in.
parejas, todos vamos a gozar.
Out.
And then you still
Baila
kind of
esta
continue.
cumbia, mueve,
You never lose the.
mueve la cintura.
Yeah, as you did.
Las manos en alto y griten,
Yeah.
Forward and back.
So,
griten con locura.
Oh, you messed us up. You keep stepping on us.
You want to try? One of the girls?
all right, let's switch your
Want to
partner.
switch for a second? Yes. All right, somebody, it doesn't matter. Sure. So,
Right.
I'm
So,
going
okay,
to
left.
go
Wait,
back
Yep.
and forward,
Left.
back.
Vamos a bailar.
See?
Yeah. Now
Make that little step though. Make,
We're spinning.
yeah. So there you go.
I don't know what to do now.
Go back.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
keep that leg going. That leg
Wrong
going.
foot.
Wrong foot. Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Forward and back.
And then another spin. There you go.
Your
See?
pop's got it over there.
Oh.
No.
I'm feeling
You
it.
Baila esta cumbia un
Are you?
ritmo.
You're feeling the different rhythm. But you know what? It's great 'cause it keeps you happy
Se quede
and
sentado.
fun.
There we go.
Okay, Lonnie's got it.
Awesome.
Look at your pops go. Yes. Okay. They got the hips going over there.
Baila esta cumbia un ritmo.
I think we need to do something really quick, okay?
Okay,
This is really cute.
Do partners against partners.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
What is
You decide.
Here we go.
Now we're gonna
Who's
do a
the
little
winner?
dance off.
Huh?
A little dance
Okay.
off.
So
Partners.
let's start the song over.
Are we going to
These
original
partners right
partners?
here?
Well, I don't want you to be with Ricky because you'll win.
And I don't want to be with Ricky, but you can. Here we
Yeah,
go.
here we go. Here we
All
go.
right, we're doing
All
this.
right.
No, this
So
is
we
great.
can, one at a time?
We going
All right, we got this. We got this.
Okay, one at a time. Are you guys going? Wait,
Yeah.
they're going. They're going.
Oh, you gotta be up front.
Ricky's moving her.
Yeah.
Hey, sideways though. There you go.
Okay.
Hey, mama! Look at that.
Siento
Okay.
algo que me mueve un ritmo.
There we go.
Que me hace bailar.
That was awesome.
Todos sus parejas, todos
Yeah.
vamos a gozar. Baila esta
You got the hand, you got the shoulder.
You
What
got
are
the shoulders.
mueve la cintura. Todos las manos en alto y griten.
Hey.
There we go.
Look at him. Wait, he's got it. He's got it.
You got it.
So sorry. I'm the worst one here.
All right.
Okay.
Baila esta
Oye,
cumbia un
sorry.
ritmo. Ritmo sin igual. Nadie se quede sentado. Todos vamos a bailar.
Don't fall.
Don't go off the stage.
Oh, wait.
Siento algo que me mueve un ritmo. Que me hace bailar. Todos sus parejas, todos vamos a gozar.
Who's the winner? Who's the winner?
Who's the winner? Who's the winner?
Team one.
We had fun.
You did all of it.
All right. Well, we had a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for coming. on the show and teaching us the cumbia.
Yes.
And we're excited to get back and get to know you guys a little bit more. But right now, we're going to cut to commercial break, and we'll be right back after with Xicha's right after this commercial break. Stay right there. All right.
Our local business owners who started a brewery restaurant in West Salem back in 2017. You saw them teaching us how to cumbia.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
A lot of fun.
And Xicha Brewing is a family-friendly cultural environment that creates community around high-quality, fresh Latin American food and house-brewed European ales and lagers. Their goal is to honor Latin American traditions while constantly seeking out opportunities where those traditions creatively collide with new ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for one of the co-founders, and both of them are here, of Xicha Brewing, Carlo and Maggie Yeah! Come on. Let me spin your hair. Yeah. Good to have you, buddy. Good to have you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Have a seat.
All right.
Thank you for having us.
That was so
Thank
much
you,
fun.
thank you.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, we had a blast.
Well, Maggie, it's so good to have you on the show. I've had
Yes.
many opportunities to meet you at Xicha, through
With the
Kid Dizzle
girls,
over
yeah.
there. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
And, Kehlani has watched the kids before.
Yes.
But what's funny is she brought them to my house once. And
Okay.
they just kind of hung out for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And your kids are amazing.
They are.
Some
We're
kids
blessed.
are kind of either timid or they're like really hyper.
Uh-huh.
But they come in and they just like, we're at home. It was so fun. We had a good time with them. They're so sweet.
Thank you.
Thanks for teaching us to dance.
Yeah,
That was a lot
so
of
much
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys seem pretty natural at it, you know. I mean, I'm all about the pop and lock. But
Okay.
Spinning on his head.
a little too much. Anyway, we're glad to have you guys on the show.
Thank
we
you.
enjoy your food and everything like that. But let me ask you something. We're going to talk about Xicha's brewery, restaurant, and I'm just curious, what is the difference really between like Latin American food and let's say just a Mexican restaurant, right? Because I love Mexican food. I just like chimichanga all day, right? But then we go to Xicha's and it seems just different. What's the difference? What brings that difference?
Yeah, no, I mean, we try to bring in a little bit of spice from every part of the continent, South America, Central America, and just create, a good balanced experience that's not overly spicy or just overly sauced up or something of the sort. And try and keep it healthy too, because obviously that's kind of the main goal. We don't want people leaving there like a gut bomb.
Yeah.
And, and that's kind of been the standard for us. It's just kind of keeping it healthy, keeping it fresh, and keeping it good. So,
So that's kind of, I was kind of doing a little research, because I do my research, right? And so the whole Latin thing is, it is diverse. It's multiple cultures coming together, right? And so you have all those different flavors and all those different styles versus Mexican is just Mexico.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very much so. And then
Okay.
even in Mexico, it doesn't get represented right because it's like one whole. But in Mexico, you could have so much difference.
That's true.
From one part of Mexico to another part of Mexico.
Diversity
for
in
sure.
the different regions.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
And so
yeah.
in America, I think it's more like
This is what it
with
is.
one thing.
Yeah.
So
So why Xicha's though, and not like Arby's
right.
or KFC?
Yeah.
Why not some
those are-
KFC,
Well,
guys?
because the food is
Maybe
not
some
good for you.
Popeyes.
Those
Why
days are
Xicha's?
taken. Those days are taken
man.
already. We
Those
look-
names are taken.
No, so
Where did you come up with the name Xicha?
that's kind of funny. So we actually, it's a group of us, and there's the brewer and our compadre, my son's godfather, who all started this project back in 2016. And so we had a lot of names come up and we all put into the pot. And Xicha has a lot of history behind it. We obviously had to change the X or the CH to an X for trademark purposes and everything else, to make it very unique to us. But yeah, Xicha is a fermented beverage from the Americas back when the settlers came in. And to this day, I mean, we know a couple of brewers that make Xicha morada, and it's pretty fun actually to make it. Our brewer does make it in September.
Corn fermented beverage.
Okay.
Yeah, and so traditionally you would spit it up in a community forum, and then spit it in a bucket and let that ferment. And add some fruit. So I mean, we could make some one day.
We don't do that at Xicha.
Yeah, so it was very much a community-based beverage, but it was meant to be shared too. So I mean, it's your spit, my spit.
Yeah. I'll pass.
Yeah.
What would you say is probably the biggest thing that makes you stand out from other Mexican restaurants?
Oh man.
It's not Mexican, it's Latino.
Latino.
Yeah.
We
so
are.
number one, that's probably the difference.
Well, no, but
That's the difference.
Yeah, Mexican restaurants in.
Yeah.
in the
So
area,
I mean,
yeah.
I just think the flavor profiles are definitely much different. We take a little bit of inspiration from Peru, Central America, and obviously Mexico. But even Southern America, the southern part of the United States, New Mexico and such. Even Southern California. Like that's a different kind of food down there too.
I
So.
grew up in Southern California. As a kid, I was in San Diego all my life. And so there was a lot of it.
Yeah. And so
A lot of great fresh local.
definitely, so definitely making those flavors pop and a different version of it, right? Not your traditional versions of it. So but also doing it in the Northwest, because it's a little different up here versus San Diego.
Yeah.
So what the bounty is out here is different. So we try to make sure we keep that into consideration every time we make a plate.
I love how you guys throw things out there on the menu. Every now and then.
Yeah.
Like pozole.
Yeah.
She
fell
loves
in love
pozole.
with pozole.
Like, that's her thing.
I don't even remember who made it for us the very first time. I think it was one of our families in our church decided to bring some over because a couple of us were sick. And she just brought it over, and I was like, this is amazing.
It's comforting.
How come I've never had this before?
Yeah.
And then Kaylani comes home one day, she's like, Mom, you would not believe what's on the menu right now.
No, it's definitely a wintertime thing, and seasonal to the holidays too. I mean, you make a pot for the whole family pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And maybe the next day and the next day.
It depends on how big that
So
pot
I know
is.
you guys have some other partners. You have the brewmaster guy, right? Who's a cool character. Right? Every time I see him, I'm like, dude, are you? What's going on? But anyway, you got your brewmaster, right? And then Ricardo, you do the kitchen. Is that right?
Yeah, I kind of do the kitchen management. I'm the chef by trade, so I kind of organize that and put the recipes into play and make sure they kind of get executed, and I just kind of chase test a lot.
Oh, so you do a lot of testing and tasting and like just experimenting and all of that.
Yeah, because sometimes some stuff doesn't work. Like you can definitely stuff everything in the tortilla, and usually it's gonna work, but you always got to play around with it.
Like that.
Yeah.
Just stuff it in a tortilla. It'll be great. It'll be awesome. Just stuff it in a
vegetables,
tortilla.
meat, anything.
It'll work.
It'll all work. So.
No, not always. No, he's very much that creative side back in the kitchen. Works really well with the team. Makes sure the team is executing when he's not there. Ricardo does work with a lot of other local wineries and other chefs in the area to make sure we do caterings and things like that on the side. So we have a great staff helping us day in, day out to make sure everything's running.
Yeah. And then I'm sorry, you manage the restaurant then, the business side of it, the restaurant side of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do a little bit of everything.
The day-to-day operations, we call it.
So teach us, like, some of your stuff is in other restaurants around town.
Our beer is definitely coming into play a little bit more.
We've actually seen you in other restaurants.
Really?
That's really cool.
In Portland.
The one right down here, the other taco place.
Azules.
Azules. We've seen it in there.
They're carrying Xicha Brewing.
They carry a lot of our beer,
really cool.
our canned and bottled beverages. And then
a lot of market of choice in Portland, and the Winkos are picking it up.
the Winkos are picking it up.
Wow.
We're
You can find it on the website too.
Yeah.
So we have a Xicha Brewing or a Xicha Finder, local
Xicha
finder. So you can click on our website and it shows you all the stores that are carrying our product right now.
So is that a big part of the business then? Like,
we want it to be bigger. We're working on that to kind of get things more streamlined for sure, and we think it's a really cool experience in a bottle, right? So it's kind of us in a can or a bottle, and put it out there in the market, and I think it's being received really well, and we just need to get better at making more of it.
Yeah.
You know, and pushing it out.
Well, we brought a few out here, and I'm just noticing the colorful cans and the artwork.
Yeah.
And
That's part of us.
that's who you are. That's you guys.
Yeah.
That's just making it different.
We're vibrant, bright, loud Latinos.
The artwork is eye-catching. Like, it catches your eye.
Who does your artwork for you?
So that's in-house. We do that ourselves. The marketing, our son's godfather, our compadre, he's in charge of that. Yeah, he's our fourth partner. So yeah, we all got our jobs. And we kind of stay in our lanes and, you know, makes the thing move, right?
Well, I like that you stay in your lane.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about staying in your lane today. That's what we're teaching on in just a few minutes, but that's awesome. So go ahead.
Tell us a little bit about the restaurant, the new one.
Yeah, there's a new one coming up.
New restaurant opening.
So, we'll be in South Eugene, hopefully in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Construction's almost done, so we're getting there. But yeah, it's going to be more of a gastropub / taqueria. So more beer and food oriented. We'll be trucking our beer there and serving it, you know.
So kind of a different vibe than what you've got going on.
No,
A little bit?
No, it'll be the same.
Similar.
It's the same?
Yeah.
The brewings will still stay in West Salem.
Okay.
We'll still be on at home base.
Yeah, so you'll just be shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it won't be
Down
the
there.
same experience because on brew days you can smell
Oh,
the malt
man.
in the air. You can smell all the
That's
everything.
great.
It's kind of fun. It's adds to the whole experience for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so like I mean, even our chela, we brewed it today during lunchtime, and everyone's like, "What does that smell?" I was like, "Oh,
What
it's
is this?
yeah," because we use a third malt of our malt mixture is corn.
Okay.
And
so
so
you're
it
using
kinda-
corn.
Yeah. So we use corn in our beers too, and we use corn in the kitchen, and yeah, so it's pretty big part of our life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love
Is
corn?
it corn or is it maize?
It's maize.
Oh, see, I
But
knew
you use
it.
corn in the
I
kitchen.
knew it.
There's
Yeah.
It's
maize.
because I'm
Nice.
part Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, are they excited to have you in Eugene?
They
Very
are.
much.
We've,
Yeah.
we've
We're
been seeing
excited
a lot,
to be there, yeah.
a lot of the following coming up, checking this out, you know, ahead of time, and it's very great. We've gotten a lot of love, and we couldn't be happier with that.
And you know, one of the other things they do, and I think we've done it together because I won a ton of prizes, is bingo night.
Yeah.
Like,
Loteria.
what's it called?
Loteria.
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 Yeah.
Loteria.
Yeah.
And you know, we went into.
Yeah, if you yell bingo, you don't get your prize.
No, I have to yell Loteria! Loteria! You have to do it like that.
You
too.
gotta
You
do it
can't
too.
just say
Yeah.
Loteria.
No, nobody will hear you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, but it's a different kind of bingo because they have like weird pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
No numbers.
Like the
just
mermaid.
pictures.
No numbers, just pictures. So,
Yeah.
oh man, that's cool. So now the reason we brought you on was to talk about Xicha Fest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is Xicha Fest all about?
Yeah.
This year is kind of big.
Okay.
I mean, it's really big.
Can
this
we
year.
be a part of it?
Please.
What do we have
Come
to do?
on out. You show up.
Okay.
You dance like you did earlier.
Oh, I know how now. I know how now.
Yeah.
So,
Got the
okay.
practice
We got
in.
this one down.
Yeah, it's kind of a combination of our yearly festival that we try to do around Oktoberfest.
Uh-huh.
You know, because we are a brewery in essence. So we try to do our version of that. And so, but this year it's kind of a little bigger, like she said, because it's our 5-year. So we're going to kind of go all out. Not necessarily, but yeah.
Is it going to be right here, West Salem?
It'll be.
So it's at the restaurant?
It's at, yep.
Oh,
we block out the,
so you
the
pack it
parking
out.
lot. Yeah. Yeah.
And they just expanded. Like, you have a little bit more parking out
We
there,
have more-
right?
oh,
Because they finished that
Yeah.
Up on the sides, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On
so
the back side.
it'll be all in the front. We have a DJ on Friday night,
Okay.
starting all the festivities then, and then going through Sunday with music, live bands on Saturday, a lot of vendors. We actually get our Hatch Chilies
Yeah.
coming up that weekend.
And
So
we'll be roasting on site just for fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of some little brightness and smells, you know, get everybody hungry.
Yeah,
spicy.
that sounds fun. So a lot of music, a lot of fun. Everybody's got vibes,
Yes.
and then people just hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do they park?
So parking on site, obviously we have extra parking on both sides of the building. So just gotta walk a little bit, you know.
Okay.
I know Salem likes to
street parking. And
do a couple extra loops to make sure they find the right parking spot. But
Right.
you know, you might have to park on the street or something. But you know, we'll
Sounds
make
fun.
it. Yeah, we'll
Sounds
make it easy for you.
And when is it? Tell us again.
That is September
September
9th,
9th.
10th, and 11th.
Okay, so coming up. It's coming up.
3 days.
September
Yeah.
9th, 10th, and 11th. I think we'll be
Yes.
there. I think we'll be
Definitely.
there. I got to get
We'll be
my
there.
chimichanga.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta get my chimichanga.
On your cumbia.
And and we're gonna do some cumbia
Yes.
and we're loteria.
Yeah.
No loteria that night, but yes,
You guys,
for sure,
it
we're
has
gonna
been
have a
so
good
much
time.
fun having you guys on the show. The dancing, everything is fantastic. We love the
you.
flavors, we love the vibes, we love everything about it. And thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate it. The time flies so much because we got to take a break now. But when we come back, we're going to dive right into a new series, get this, called Stay in Your Lane.
Oh.
It's good to stay in your lane. So don't go away.
We
We'll
do.
be right back right after this commercial break.
When I'm listening to a customer, my number one priority is to listen.
In every moment that I'm with this customer or this client, am I doing everything that I can to look out for their best interest at the end of the day?
Just make sure they have plenty of options and they're happy with the choice that they make. It doesn't matter what we want, everything that they want is what we want to make happen.
At the end of the day, we do a walkthrough, communicate with the customer, make sure they're completely happy with what they've spent their hard-earned money for.
Starting a brand new series.
Yes, we are, and
Brand new
it's
series.
time.
So that means it's time to talk.
Time to talk. Let's do it. All right. Okay, today we're starting a brand new discussion titled "Stay in Your Lane," and I really like this topic, and I want to start off the discussion by talking about your driving.
My driving. My driving's actually really good.
Hey.
But it gets really rough when you're driving and everybody else wants to stay in their lane.
I'm not saying that you don't stay in your lane, but I know other people don't stay in their lane, and how does that make you feel?
That's very frustrating.
Yes.
It's very hard. You know what? I feel like if they put a horn on a car, that means it's supposed to be used. So when Kevin's driving and they don't stay in their lane, I help him use it.
Right? She does.
I reach over and hit the horn.
She honks my horn, and I hate it. I'm not a horn guy. I'm not a horn guy. Like, if you don't stay in your lane, I just kind of like, dude. And then I just go. I don't mess around. But, you know, I do believe that there are a lot of accidents because people don't stay in their lane. You know, it's very dangerous on the road.
Or they fail to look and they just change lanes instead of looking before getting in your lane.
It honestly is. If you don't stay in your lane, you can cause an accident.
That's right.
It could, you know, people are always, there's the road rage nowadays, you know, and I don't want people road raging on me. You got to stay in your lane. And when they don't stick to their lane, it can literally cause death. Like, you could get in an accident to where it causes death, and we don't want that.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because Kennedy turned 16, she's driving, she has her permit, so she didn't even get her driver's license yet, and before she could even get her license, the girl turns on a red light and gets hit from behind.
Yeah, somebody didn't stay in their lane.
Plowed into. So, I mean, it could have been bad, but it wasn't, you know, God's grace.
Somebody pulled into her lane, right?
Well, I don't know where he came from. He just ran his light and blew right through the light. So
I'm just sure that he came into her lane.
And he didn't have any headlights on. So in the middle of the night, that's rough.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
You gotta stay in your lane.
You just gotta
obey the rules.
You gotta stay in your lane, and you know, we're not always talking about driving. I mean, in general, in life, if you don't stay in your lane, it can be dangerous.
That's right.
It really could.
That's
you don't want me being a surgeon. That's not my lane, right? You don't. If you need surgery, you don't want me in that lane. And you know, we want you to enjoy the great Latin flavors at Xicha's.
Yes.
You know, because the people who cook in that, you know, like Ricardo and his team, they're the ones who cook those meals.
And they do a great job.
Because they're supposed to be there. But you don't want those meals if I barge in and try to tell them how to cook. You know, you don't want me in that lane. You don't want me in the kitchen. You don't want me in that lane.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think that Xicha's would do well serving chicken and bananas.
Hey, chicken and bananas ain't bad.
Chicken and banana dish. I know you looked up an interesting chicken and banana meal that you showed us, but yours was a little bit different, hon.
Well, Well, it was good though. I wasn't the only one who did it. Like, obviously, I had a video of other people who did it in a more.
They did it a little bit different.
Yes, they did it a little different, but it was chicken bananas nonetheless. But you know, that's not my lane. I get it. That's not my lane. I'm not a surgeon. That's not my lane. I'm not a like. You wouldn't want me flying an airplane.
No.
That's not my lane, right? There's what's your lane, babe? Like, what's your lane?
What's my lane?
Yeah, like.
Well, currently, just being a mom is my lane.
Yeah,
being
so
a
you
wife
don't want
is
me
my
to be a
lane.
mom. You don't want me being a mom.
I can cut your hair pretty well.
Yeah, you don't want me
cut
cutting
your
your hair. No.
Color your hair. I mean, we all have our lane. We all have our things that we're good at. We all have our things that we just kind of exceed in.
Yeah.
Kind of, we're gifted to do those things.
And we need to stay
in those lanes. And that's kind of your lane. That's your lane.
Yeah. You know, staying in your lane, making sure that if you're a chef, then chef.
Yeah.
If you're a surgeon, then surgeon, right? If you're a pilot, then pilot. But it reminds me of that movie. Do you remember that movie with Liam Neeson? That movie Taken. It was a little scary. You don't like scary movies, but well, you kind of do. Yeah. I don't like scary movies. But do you remember that one? With Liam Neeson. The bad guys, they kidnap his daughter. Yes. Now, if the bad guys kidnap my daughter, I would freak out. Like I would not be me anymore. Right. But Liam Neeson, he's cool. He's calm. He's collective. And the bad guys, they kidnap his daughter. And he gets on. Yes, they call him, and he gets on the phone with them. He gets on the phone with them, and the line was epic. Like, it was so epic. In fact, K Dizzle, do you have that line? Can you hit that line for me? Because it's amazing. I want to. Let me illustrate.
I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
Thank you very much. The only reason Liam Neeson got that part was because I wasn't able to be there, but he had a he had a very, very specific set of skills.
As well as you just did, hon, I still think you need to stay in your lane.
What are you saying? That's not my lane? That's not my lane? Is that what you're saying? That's not my lane?
Yeah.
You know what my lane is now? I got a new lane. K Dizzle, I got a new lane. Cumbia dancing. Yeah! Cumbia dancing. That's my... No, yeah. Okay, that's not cumbia. It's best that we all stay in our lane because it's very dangerous if you don't. And just like Liam Neeson, he had a very specific set of skills. If you watch that movie, it really gets me going because like the way he fights, the fight scenes.
He's pretty crazy.
No, he knows what he knows what he's doing.
He's pretty bad.
That's his lane. Yeah. And so when we got married, your lane was to cut hair.
That's true.
Like I'm not going to go to somebody else. I'm going to go to you. Couple reasons. You ready? Number one, it's your lane, and you did a great job. Number two, I got free head massages with shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah, everything.
The works.
Yep.
I got that, and I got a wife. Let's go. I got a wife. But that was your lane. Like you can't just let anybody cut your hair. Have you ever had somebody try to cut your hair?
I've actually, it's kind of weird when you're in your lane and you're really good at your lane and that's kind of your passion. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to go find another hairdresser.
Yeah.
So, you kind of have expectations and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think when I walk in, some hairdressers kind of look at me and they're like, I don't really want to cut her hair.
Yeah.
So.
Have you guys ever had like maybe you take your car in to get an oil change?
Yeah.
But the people that's doing the oil change have no clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like we've had that happen where we go and we take our car. We literally took our car into Jiffy Lube. One of those places. I shouldn't have said that, but anyway, we took our car into an oil changing place that everybody knows about, and they had to ask us, like, "Where's the oil thing?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
But what car was that?
Was that the?
No, I think that was because they were working. The guy was working on a car that he hadn't seen.
He had never seen that kind of car before, but he was asking for the owner's manual. And
I think he was trying to find the plug for something.
Right.
To drain it.
Right. I'm like, dude,
find it.
you're supposed. This is your lane. Like you You told me to pull into this lane, which is your lane, and you don't know where the oil plug is? That's kind of weird. But anyway, you got to stay in your lane.
Yeah, that's true. Got to stay in your lane.
It's dangerous when you don't.
When you don't stay in your lane. Actually, it's kind of funny because there are people that see other people in their lane and see how well they're doing in their lane. And it kind of comes into that play where you get people kind of starting to covet somebody else's lane.
Yeah.
So they try to walk into that lane.
We're going to
or
talk about
start
that.
being in that lane.
Yep.
That's one of the things we're going to talk about later in the show.
Yep.
As we get further on in this series, but that's a really dangerous thing.
It is dangerous. You got to.
When you, like, instead of, not just speaking about being something else, but when you start looking at something that's not you.
Right.
You got to stay in your lane. Do what you know you do well.
Yeah.
Be you. Be the best you can be.
Because we're going to talk about it. God has given each of us specific gifts.
Yeah.
And those gifts are designed to like, they're designed for a specific race. We're going to talk about that before us, right? We're going to talk about that.
Right.
So we have to stay in our lane that those gifts, can drive us in.
Right, right. And when you stay in your lane and you become really good at what your gifting is, what your talents are, what you've been given.
Yeah.
Be, like I said, be the best version of you. Instead of looking at someone else who's thriving in their lane, you become really good and thriving in your own lane.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier to see everyone around us instead of just ourselves and how well we're doing and what we're doing. So.
Well, the Word of God is very clear, just like Liam Neeson was, and we got to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to dive into the Word and talk about it. So stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Just prior to the break, we were just talking about staying in your lane and how dangerous it was, and how you have to really look at the specific gifts that you have that God has given you. And we've got a scripture to read. It's out of Romans chapter 12, starting in verse 6. And what it says is, in His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, well, then speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is serving others, well, then serve them well. If you are a teacher, well, then teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, then be encouraging. And if it is giving, then give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, then do it gladly. Right?
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty specific right there.
It is.
That's pretty much the Lord saying, stay in your lane. Quit trying to dwell where you're not gifted.
It sends a pretty powerful message as well, just like Liam Neeson's message was pretty powerful. But God has given us each different gifts. Cooking was not one of my gifts. We know that. Cooking, that wasn't one. So I want to make this this parallel, okay? If I say gifts, I could also say lanes, okay? So God didn't give me that lane of cooking. He didn't give me that gift of cooking, which is why you don't want me taking over Xicha's kitchen. Right? That's not my lane, but we have to stay in our lane. We all have our own gifts. We talked about your gifts, which was cutting hair. And you know what, you guys, I don't know if you know this, but Kristie is an incredible cook herself. Okay, Dizzle, can you attest to that? Literally,
absolutely.
She can open her own restaurant. She is a great cook. I gotta tell you, you're really good. You're really good. You're really good. And anyway, let's break this scripture down, okay? Start with verse 6.
We're going to discuss these different giftings that are in here. And in verse 6 it says, if God gave you the ability to prophesy, speak out.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is a big one. I just hate it when people try to drive in this lane and it's not
their lane. It's not their gift.
Prophecy is definitely something that's very indefinite. That's definitely, it's an area where you just have to, prophecy is supposed to come from the Lord.
Yeah.
To others and to the people. So.
And it's so important that, as we pastored over the 30 years or however long, we've been married for 26 and we've been pastors this whole time. And we've had people come into our church and they thought they were supposed to prophesy over everybody. Yeah. We take it so seriously that we just don't allow it. Yeah. Like, we don't allow people to just go prophesy over somebody unless we know who that person is. Yeah. Because we know if it's their lane or their gifting, right? So if you go to Life Church and you're trained and people, they pray through to receive those giftings, well, then that's different. Yeah. But I've had people come and try to prophesy over us in our church, and we're like, bro, where did you get that? Like, that's not anywhere close to right. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's dangerous.
It's definitely something that is, it goes with the gift of discernment.
That's true.
Being able to discern if this prophetic word is, from the Lord for you. People get really excited. They get very emotionally charged when it comes to, being somewhere where the Spirit's flowing, the Lord is. They get very emotionally charged, and I think half the time that's where people kind of get excited. Maybe they see somebody, they can physically see somebody that's struggling, so they go up and want to say, I have a prophetic word for you, but maybe they would be better off saying, I just want to encourage you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe you're an encourager. If you're an encourager, encourage. Don't try to be a prophet or, flow in the gift of prophecy when you're better off as an encourager.
And in the beginning of the text, it said God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. In other words, God has given each of you a gift to do certain things. Not everything.
Yes.
Not the things you're not supposed to do. Not the things Kristie's supposed to do. Certain things. He's given you gifts to do certain things well, which means there's other things you won't do well.
Right.
And you should stay, you should stay out of those lanes.
Stay in your lane.
But let's continue. Verse 7 says, if your gift is serving others, serve them well.
Yes.
Now, we know a servant that...
Absolutely.
Like
we know quite a few, actually.
But this one in particular, right? Yeah. He lives in Detroit.
Yes.
And I hope he's watching. It's Elder Flowers. And you guys know him. Elder Flowers.
He's such a servant.
I'm telling you... It's unbelievable how he serves us when we're in Detroit.
Servant. He sees every need before it happens. Like, you can walk in and, Kevin will cough once and he's right there with water.
Water
and a tissue or whatever. But he's bringing you cough drops. His whole life is to serve people. And he does it very, very, very well.
Yeah.
He does it with all of his being.
That's his lane.
Yeah.
It's
and that's
definitely
what, at the beginning, when you just said, it says to do it well. The Word of God said he's given you a gift to do it well.
Yeah.
He definitely is an example of doing what he's been gifted well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. He's been gifted for that.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
And we'll move on to, let's see, where are we at? Verse 7 also says, if you're a teacher, teach well.
Yes. And I'll tell you, do you know why I don't teach on Tuesday nights?
If Bob's here, I'm not teaching either.
Exactly, because that's Pastor Bob's lane, right?
So good at
People
teaching.
have asked me, well, why don't you teach on Tuesdays? Why don't you teach the Bible study and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's not my lane. That's Pastor Bob's lane.
Yes.
Now, if you want me to do a leadership class, I'll do a leadership class any day of the week.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to come in here and try to do a Bible study when that's Pastor Bob's lane, right? Who would want to do that? I ain't about to drive in his lane. I know my lane, and I try to stay in it. That's Pastor Bob's lane.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you haven't ever seen it, it's on our Roku network.
Yes.
You can go on and check it out. It's on every Tuesday
night. Bible classes are very good. He comes up with information, and I sit there and think, where did you get this from? Like, how do you know this? Where do you even begin to search to find these answers and stuff? He's got so much knowledge packed into his head and in his heart. The Lord just pours a lot of stuff on him. So he's amazing at teaching.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, so verse 8 says, if your gift is to encourage others, and you were just talking about that, then be encouraging.
Yes.
There's some people that I know it's not their lane because they're never encouraging. In fact, they're discouraging. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be around you no more, right? I mean, you got to. See, I love people who actually own this lane.
Yeah.
Like, we've known some people that are just so encouraging.
You know who's a really good one at this?
Tell me.
Your mom, Maria Truitt.
Yes, she's always encouraging.
Our moms are both very encouraging.
Very much so.
They find people, they come up to us. What's funny is when we had the church open, we had a lot of mamas. A lot of mamas. We had our own mamas, and then we had a lot of mamas in the church that were so good at encouraging us, encouraging the people that came in, encouraging guests that came in. They don't even have to know these people. They can walk up to a complete stranger and just give them an encouraging word. Encourage them in the moment. I mean, they could look like they're down and like they're just ready to give up on life, and they just go up with such enthusiasm and encourage them and bring them up. And that's a huge thing for encouragement. If you're encouraging, somebody should be like, their mood should be lightening. They should feel better.
You would think that everyone should be encouraging, and maybe to a certain degree that's true.
Yeah.
But the Bible is clear that there are some people that he gives a gift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And remember, in the beginning, it says he gives you these gifts to excel in certain things, like in certain ways, right? To do certain things.
Right.
And so that tells me that he literally has gifted people with a gift of encouraging, so they're better at it than others, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we know some people that are not good at all at
that's
encouraging.
true. Some people stand back and they're like, I got nothing. I don't even know what to say. But,
so,
hey, how you doing?
yeah, how you doing? So if you're an encourager and that's your gifting, then drive in that lane all day because people need those encouragers.
Oh, absolutely.
They absolutely need those encouragers.
The time and day we live in, we need encouraging people. All right, in verse 8, it also says, if you are gifted to give, give generously.
Let's go. I love this one.
Imagine that lane, gifted to give. Think about that for a minute. Like, you're gifted to give. And that's what an amazing
There actually
gift to
are
have.
people
There
that
are.
have this gift.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, when you say give, a lot of people instantly are like, well, okay, I feel like I'm gifted to give, but I don't really have a huge bank account. But giving is a lot more than just how big your bank account is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can give of yourself. You can give of your time. You can give of what you have. I mean, there are people that have closets full of clothes, and they just need to clean them out. I know there are times when I've been like, I need to clean my closet out. Oh, I know people that could use, she would love that, and she would love that, and she would love that. And then I just start tearing things out of my closet,
right?
And shove them out there. Just if you feel like you're gifted to give, just give in any way that you can.
Give generously.
Even if that's time.
Yeah, even if it's time. Even if it's time. You know, what I like about this one, though, is that it kind of is a double gift. Like, because God's not going to give you the gift of giving.
That's true.
Without also giving you the provision
to give.
To drive in that lane, right? So he's going to give you the provision to drive in that lane. So God, give us the gift to give. That would be awesome. And not because we just want a lot for ourselves, but people literally, it's like you can't outgive the Lord. Like if you give, the Bible says, it'll be pressed down, shaken together, and running over, right? We want to give hilariously and drive in that lane when it's our gift. And there are some people that are just gifted to give.
And it's funny, that kind of works for every one of these gifts. If you're an encouraging person, you oftentimes aren't that person that's down.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're always, it's like encouragement just kind of flows through you. You kind of thrive in that lane. The Lord gives you what you need to give out. To dwell well in your gifting. So that kind of applies to all of them too.
It really does. It truly does.
Yeah.
So the next one is, it says, if you're a leader, leaders should take that responsibility seriously. So if God has given you the gift to lead, then you should take it seriously. And I mean, if you don't take it seriously, then you're not gonna succeed in leading, and you're gonna look behind you and nobody's following you, right? And you got to have that influence. And again, I could talk all day about leadership, but there's some leaders
this
that
is kind of your lane.
Kind of. I definitely love teaching leadership stuff. And there's opportunities throughout life, you know, to just lead and influence others, whether it's, you know, in church or at your school or at work or right in your family. Be a good leader in your family. Drive in that lane, right? I've known some people that they take on these leadership positions, but they don't have that gift.
Yeah, like nobody wants to follow them anywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Also, it says, if you're gifted with kindness, do it gladly. Could you imagine somebody being kind, but their demeanor and how they're doing it is not kind at all? They're not happy about it. They're not happy to, you know, show kindness to somebody.
Right.
It's like, oh, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, but listen, I have a very
Sorry,
certain specific set of skills.
Liam Neeson was, you know, encouragement to me.
Yeah, but you know what? I was thinking about this one in kindness. If he says do it gladly, that means that there are people that are actually trying to be kind, but they're not even happy about it, right? They're like, have a good day, right? It's like, you know, if people, like, if you go into a restaurant, they're like, welcome to Xicha. What do you want? Like, that's not how they act there, but, you know, I'm just...
Take your order?
Yeah, I mean, or it's even worse in church. Like, you go to church and everybody's supposed to be kind, and they're like, welcome to church. Like, you can't sit there. That's my seat. What? What?
Yeah.
Right? We got to be kind. The Bible says do it with gladness. Like, be happy about being kind. We got to be happy about being kind.
I think this is kind of a little bit of a rough one, simply because if somebody approaches you and you're supposed to be kind to them, but their attitude is twisted, or maybe they've had a hard day, or maybe maybe they're just having a hard life. But if somebody approaches you, it's not always easy to be kind.
It's not always easy.
It's not always easy to be glad about being kind.
Yeah.
When you're having to, you know, even if it's somebody who's hurt you or put you down or whatever.
Right.
So this is a huge one. It's a great gifting.
It is.
So.
But I think we should take that to heart, that not everything is going to be fun. Not everything is going to be easy.
Right.
Not everything is going to be joyful.
Yep.
But God wants us to put on this this spirit of joy and happiness, because we're doing it for Him. He's given us a gift to walk in that lane, drive in that lane, and that's where we should be.
Yep.
You know? Yep. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Absolutely. It's been a fun show, hasn't it?
It's been wonderful.
Yes,
we
it
had
has.
A great time.
And we want to thank our guests, Ricardo and Maggie Antunez from Xicha. If you haven't tried their wonderful Latin dishes yet, make sure you make your way out to Xicha in West Salem.
And try the stuffed peppers.
Yes, try it. Try it. We also want to thank our sponsor, Advantage Heating and Air, keeping Salem and the Mid-Valley comfortable since 1992. It's been a great show. Have you enjoyed it?
It's been a great show.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Ricky's moving her. Hey, sideways though. There you go. Okay. Look at that. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
You got the shoulder.